Hello and welcome to the OVRC Touring Car Series. My name is Erwin. Alex is not here today, unfortunately. Had to cover his shift at work, so I have to deal without him today. So hopefully I can still provide you with some entertainment on my own. So today, as you can see, we are racing at Laguna Seca, which is a 3.6 kilometer long track in California in the United States of America. Track that I very much enjoy. I think a lot of people enjoy it, though some people do not. Quite an unforgiving, twisty track. And here we have the corkscrew, which is of course the most famous corner on the track. Quite a tricky one to get right. And that angle doesn't quite do it justice, I think. You have to see from inside the car to know how tricky that is. So, the Touring Car Series, let's go over the current top 5 in the championship. So, in first position in the Drivers' Championship, we have Thomas Jansen with 90 points. Then in second, it's John Dalton with 69 points. Nice. In third, there's Conor Mathieson with 54 points. Sebastian Brunier closely behind with 52 points. And then there's Victor Berlin with 42 points in fifth. So that's the top 5 in the Drivers' Championship. For the teams, we have Openweiser Racing Club in first with 142 points. OVRC Racing Team second with 123 points. Then quite a lot of points suddenly dropping. In third, Berlin Motorsport with 54 points. And in fourth, we got Team Sly Fox with 41 points and Concrete Racing in fifth with 37 points. If you want to have a look at the full standings, you can do so at the link in the video description. So the race format is the usual. We'll start off with a 60-minute practice session, then we'll have 15 minutes of qualifying, then a 20-minute long race and another 20-minute long race with a reverse grid for the top 8. We're now just waiting for the till it's about 7 PM BST when the password will be distributed to the drivers and we can get some practice action going. So we'll get some idea of who will be the fastest today. The password will be distributed very shortly. So the password is out now, so let's see who will be the first to join. Usually Thomas, but maybe someone else will get the jump on him today. So thank you all for joining us, everyone who's here already. Hope we can get some interesting racing going. I think I might have a little technical issue here, because I'm pretty sure people should have joined by now. So enjoy some more music whilst I get this fixed. And there we go. As we see Mark Whitford right now. So I believe he will be the first to set a timed lap in this practice session today. Apologies if there's a bit of stuttering right now. The cars are still loading in. I also don't seem to bring up the driver info. And so Whitford set his first timed lap with a 1:31.3. As Jansen just beat him with a 1:29.4. And we've got Anthony Malloy taking a third position with a 1:33.0. And there we go, the driver info is working now. Here we have Conor Matheson. He's coming up to the corkscrew. That's from the onboard cam, so you can get a better idea of what that's like. And looks like he's got his lap invalidated though. So Whitford is going faster by quite a lot. He's currently 7 tenths down on Jansen. So that's still a long way to go. That should be a big improvement for him. So he improves by a second. Anthony Malloy is also improving. And looks like he lost some time in the final sector, so no improvement overall in the end. We've also got Charlie Darling in the session, who is not one of the usuals in the TC series. Of course, he is in GT series, so if you watch those races, you might know his name already. So nice to see him here as well today, as he puts his car P4. And Marcus Lawrence just put his Peugeot in second position. As Thomas Jansen is looking to extend his lead. And he's got his lap invalidated. So we're back with Charlie Darling. And he takes the corkscrew about as deep as he can. So he's now 1.7 seconds off, which looks like he won't be gaining any positions on this lap, but he should improve his time by quite a bit. And there we go. As predicted. It looks like Gavlinders could put his car P5. And we can see Jan Willem van Ommen joining the track now. Jansen was looking to go faster again, but he's lost some time in sector 2. And Whitford also lost some time in sector 2. So he won't be improving on this lap. And let's have a look at Anton Guevelainen. Currently in P6. And it looks like he lost a bit of time in sector 2. So it seems like a lot of people are losing time in sector 2 actually. So that's always a tricky one, of course, as he runs wide. That don't think will have hurt him too much. And he crosses the line now. And I don't think he improved there. Thomas Jansen once again looking to go faster, but let's see if he can get his sector 2 right this time around. I'm not sure that was on the track, and looks like he's abandoned that lap as it got invalidated. It was sort of expected. I think John Dalton just moved up before. Anthony Malloy looks to be improving quite a bit. He's currently down in P10. And he crosses the line and did not improve in the end, as Amele just put himself P12, and I think Fran Machuca just went up into P5, so gained a position there. Marcus Lawrence is fastest in sector 2. So he crosses the line now, let's see what he can do. And he's very close to Jansen now. Less than a tenth off. we come back to Whitford. I think we'll keep that P3 for now. And he shares about a tenth of his time. So that's a small improvement for him. As we now look at Robin Sutherland, trying to get out of 7th position at the moment. So he's lost some time in the 2nd sector. Let's see if he made it up in the last sector. No, he didn't, so he stays P8. As we now look at Sven Jansen, which is one of the 2 Alfa Romeos in this race. Or in this qualifying session, rather. As Conor Mathieson just set his first lap, I think, in P4. So, Jansen is improving. Or Sven Jansen, there's 2 Jansens in this race, which is not confusing at all. And he's lost some time through the final sector. So unfortunately, not able to gain any positions with that. Marcus Lawrence was trying to, or is trying to, overtake Jansen in the lead for practice. So it looks like he's lost some time in Sector 2. He did a personal improvement on Sector 1 and then a global improvement in Sector 3. So once again, Sector 2 is tricky, and so he'll need to work on that. Thomas Jansen will also have to work on that as he gets invalidated yet again. Let's go for a little onboard ride with Anton Guevalainen. Who was very fast in Sector 1. So let's see if he doesn't screw up in Sector 2 like so many others. And he's fast again. So if he gets his last sector right, he should be able to get out of P11. Maybe in contention for a top 5 spot. And he moves into P6. Only 6,000ths of a second of Hillemans. So, does Jansen get his 2nd sector invalidated this time around? No, he doesn't, but he does lose a lot of time. So that's not gonna help him out either. But he's still in P1. Lawrence very close behind him though, so will be fairly important to try and improve on that and extend his lead. Otherwise, it could be very close in qualifying. Dendo is in P16. As he crosses the line and moves off into P14, right behind Stephen Higgins. And here we have Jensen again, giving it another go. He runs a bit wide. That will have cost him some time, I think. He goes down the corkscrew and loses a tenth in sector 2, which is something he might be able to make up in the final sector. He goes on turn 11 onto the straight, and he crosses the line through sector 3, but not enough to compensate for the loss in sector 2. So we got Charlie Darling yet again, looking a lot faster now. So he should be able to move up a few positions. And he does, he moves up to P8. Advance Sven Jensen. And here we have Amele. Moves up to P14. Marcus Lawrence is improving. So does he get sector 2 right? Went a bit deep there. He got sector 2 very right indeed. So he's looking very fast through there. Let's see if he can keep that up into sector 3. And take that ever important practice lead away from Jensen. And he does go faster, but it looks like Jensen also just crossed the line to improve his lap. So I think if Jensen didn't just do that improvement there, Lawrence would have had P1, but he's now 17 hundredths of a second down on Thomas Jensen. Jensen still wants to go faster. Can never have enough lead, I guess. Ooh. Yeah, that's a big cut of the corkscrew. That's not going to be a valid lap. And he's into the pits. Marcus Lawrence. Does he improve his time? No, he doesn't. It improved 2 sectors personally though. There's still some potential there. Let's have a look at John Dalton in 7th position. Looks like he's got some traffic coming up though. Jan Willem van Ommen, who's in 17th. Dalton's looking a lot faster though. So let's see if he can gain a position out of that, or maybe even multiple positions. It's entirely possible. And he goes P3. Wow, nicely done. And actually, exactly the same time as Whitford. So that could get very interesting come qualifying. We've got Hillemans in P6 currently. They're very fast sector 1. And he's got some traffic right there, so I think he'll have to abandon that lap, and looks like he has. So here's Alberg, P12 currently. Improving sector 1, does run very wide. Out of turn 6. And yeah, he cuts the corkscrew, so that's not going to be a valid lap. It's a blind corner, so it's very easy to cut it like that. Now here's Jordan Alcalea, who has not currently set a time, so he'll be going for his first timed lap. As you've got Conor Mathieson improving in P5. So, looking faster so far. Let's see if he can challenge Dalton for P3. He does run a bit wide out of the final corner. Not sure if that's going to be valid. And looks like it was not valid. Sven Jansen is trying to get out of P8. And he moves up to P6, so very nicely done for him. Right behind Conor Mathieson. And here we have Sebastian Brunier, Thomas Jensen's teammate. Working on his first timed lap. It's 1.5 seconds off in sector 2, so not very strong from him so far, but of course it's his first lap, so Alex, that will probably change. So let's see where he puts himself. And he's in 14th position, 2.2 seconds off Jansen. Magnus Alberg in P9, but he's got some traffic in front of him though. That's Maxim van den Hove in P19. Yes, it seems my voice is slowly dying, so apologies for that. And he's Looks like he lost a lot of time because of that traffic in sector 2, so it's not going to be a fast run from him. So Connor Mathieson looking fast in sector 1. We've also got Sebastian Brunier improving. And looking a lot faster so far. So he might be able to challenge for P10 on this lap. Let's find out. As he crosses the line now, and he looks like he's got his lap invalidated. He wasn't much faster either, if the graphics are to be believed. So. Let's see, Connor Mathieson. Where does he go this time? Can he take P3 away from his teammate? He does. Half a second off Jansen still, but I mean, he's been very fast all season. So I think Connor will be happy with that. Of course, none of this matters yet. It's just practice, but shows some good promise for the race. Lando did not improve. And Malloy lost a lot of time. And he's back in the pits. Connor trying to improve again. So he's Stephen Higgins in P15. Does he get it right in the corkscrew? No. He gets it very wrong. Sven Jansen has a lot of traffic coming up. So yeah, that's not going to go very well for him. Let's see what else we can find right now. We got Dendo. Oh! It looks like someone just spun it. That was Van der Mele. As Dendo moves up into 15th position. They gain 1 position on this lap. Nicely done. And Magnus Olberg in P9. Lost some time in sector 2. And he gained some in the final sector, and he doesn't, so he's back in the pits as well. And John Dalton. What happens? It looks like he did not improve or slightly improved. Either of those two. And Jansen still trying to improve, but I think he was just about on the edge through the corkscrew there. Might almost got his lap invalidated, but it's fine so far as he looks a bit slidey out of that corner. As Jaroslav Honzik has also joined the server now. So he's in one of the Audis. Of course, he had his OVRC debut last week in the GT series, where he had a very strong performance, winning in top class. And we've got Jansen once again going faster, as we would expect from him. He runs a bit wide there, but see if that's allowed. And yeah, he lost some time for the final sector, so that was not an improvement in the end. There's Hillemans still at it. So he is in P6, tied with Woodford. And he's lost some time for sector 2, so probably not an improvement from him. And he's back in the pits. So let's have a look at Honzik doing his first timed lap. I'm going to give you guys an onboard of that whilst I take a little break. So I'll be right back. And I'm back, and it looks like Honzik has put himself P6 so far. He's not quite competitive with Jansen yet, but let's see what happens now. He's so good. Just over 21 minutes left in practice. So just looking at the order now, it seems no major changes since I've been gone. Looks like Whitford has improved this time quite a bit, but he's still down in P5. Sven Jansen still in P8. As Hillemans looking faster. So let's see where he ends up. Yes. Alright, so he's lost some time in the final sector. Then Willem van Ommen is currently down in P16. But he's looking fast in sector 1. Let's see if he can continue that into sector 2. As Fran Machuca just set the new fastest sector 1, so that's interesting. He's currently down in P6. Does in the second sector, which is where he's 2/10 off, so that's not bad at all. Means he should maybe be competitive for P2. As you could just see, Jordan Alcalea spinning it in the Honda in front of him. As Ommen moves up into P12. Let's see where Fran goes. Goes up to P3. That's a very good lap from him. Here we have Marcus Lawrence. Can he still pull something off? And he's looking a bit slow in sector 1, so that's not giving us too much hope. And Jordan Alcalea is going faster right now, down in 22nd position. Let's see what happens for the second sector as he goes around the corkscrew. And he is looking faster than before in sector 2 as well. Still quite far off the pace, but oh well. Got a competition for all levels here in OVRC. This I think is a very good thing. Alcalea looks like he's shaved some time off, but he's still down in 22nd. As here we go, Mark Whitford faster in sector 1. Ooh, there's a lot of time for sector 2. So I don't think that will be a faster one from him, but he might be able to make it up into sector 3. You never know. As he's in the fight for P5 with John Dalton. Possibly even P4 with Mathieson, and he does not improve indeed, as expected. Victor Berlin currently down in P17, but he's looking very fast now. So he's on the main straight, climbing the speed and crosses the line, moves up to P11. So that is a big improvement for him. Zonzik is looking fast in Sector 1. So let's see where he goes. Of course, still a tricky Sector 2 coming up. So who knows what might happen. And yeah, he is also looking faster in Sector 2. Still 4/10 off though. So let's see if he can fight for P5 maybe. Maybe P4. P6 certainly should be within his range on this lap. And he did not improve in the end. And here we have Magnus Alberg in P9. As he's looking faster again. So let's see if he can make up some positions. And he moves up to P8. That's not bad at all. Onto giving it another go. Around the corkscrew now at the end of Sector 2. And he is looking faster again. Quite a lot faster. Still not quite competitive with Jensen, who was his main rival in the GT series race last week. Of course, these are very different cars from the GT1s. So let's see where he ends up. And he moves up to P4. The Western Junior still trying to get out of 17th position. He's not doing very well so far in this session. And he moves up to P15, so that's a nice little improvement. That's still not quite where he'll want to be. Looking at the times right now, there's a very competitive field though. These guys are very close together. So that's a good thing. Should mean interesting things could happen for the race. Marcus Lawrence will be starting another timed lap. And Lawrence not really improving again, so looks like he's kind of out of the flow right now. Either that or he's not trying any fast runs right now, maybe just trying to get his consistency down for the race. You could see Anthony Malloy in front of him going off track. John Dalton trying to improve again, but not looking fast for Sector 2. Once again, Sector 2. That's a tricky one. And indeed he does not improve, stays P6 right behind his teammate Connor Matheson. As here we have Andre D.F. Ferreira, which is a name I'm seeing for the first time now. So I guess he's new to the OVRC. Now one of the Cupra TCR cars. We have Maxim van den Hove in the Volkswagen Golf GTI TCR, running in 21st position. So he's lost a lot of time in Sector 2 it seems. Maybe could still make up some time though. And no, he runs very wide and ooh. And he collects the high and die in front of him. That was John Dalton. And John Dalton was having a slow lap though, so this is not had a fast lap ruined. Let's go for a little onboard view with Connor Season. So he's lost some time for Sector 2, so not probably not going to be an improvement for him. As it looks like David Simon is one of the last cars to not have set a timed lap yet, together with Ferrara. More improvements coming in right now. Nestor Golvano currently in last position, 23rd, half a second of the next guy. Looking faster so far though. See if he can get some positions out of it well. And he does not improve in the end, or does he? As I think someone's just left the server. Vandenhove. Trying to improve. And he is looking faster so far. Let's see, he might be able to gain position on this lap. And so he moves up into P19. Connor season comes round to the start finish straight now, crosses the line, and looks like he did not go faster, either that or we got this lap invalidated. Sebastian Brunier still down in 14th position, trying to get out of there. 1.3 seconds off his teammate Thomas Jansen. He does run a bit wide there. I think it's cost him a little bit of time. As he does go faster in sector 2, but don't think he'll have gained a lot. The exact times, of course. So he's on the straight. Let's see if he can overtake Charlie Darling. And he doesn't. I think that was his lap getting invalidated there. Connor having another go at it. Can he overtake Honzik? And no. Honzik still in P4 with Matthiesen in P5. Leclerc giving a nice slipstream to whoever is behind him. Well, whoever it was is back in the pits now. Junior having another go at it. Seems quite fast through sector 1. So I think it is sector 2 where he's losing a lot of time. That will be something to work on. As we've only got 3 minutes left in practice, as I'm not sure that's going to be a valid lap. Yeah, that was invalidated as he cut the corkscrew there. Very easy to cut the corner, of course. You can barely see where the road is as you go down the left-hander. Here we have Hillemans. P9 right now. Looking fast in sector 2. So maybe he can gain a few positions. And no, he does not. So I think he got his lap invalidated. So then Hoven moves up into 18th position. Sven Jansen will also be trying to move up in position. He's in P8 right now. With a time very close to Alberg in P7. He'll be trying to overtake Alberg in the standings, but he cuts the corkscrew and gets his lap invalidated, so that's not going to happen on this lap, or indeed the next lap, as he won't have enough time. We'll finish another lap. Marcus Lawrence improves his fastest sector 1. And loses a lot of time for sector 2. So Lawrence does not improve. We've got Robin Sutherland. 9P16 right now. He's got some traffic in front of him, which is actually a person in front of him in the standings as well, Stephen Higgins. Sutherland doesn't change anything about his time or position. Honzik looking very fast so far. See if he can overtake Marcus Lawrence, if he has enough time to cross the finish line still. There's only 10 seconds left in practice. So let's see what happens. And yeah, he was going faster I think, but he's lost some time near the end there, as that was the end of practice. So now we will move on to qualifying, where actually the drivers will receive the driver briefing first, and then it is time for them to qualify. So Thomas Jansen definitely looking like the fastest so far. I think there's going to be an interesting battle between Marcus Lawrence and Jaroslav Honzik for second position now. And in general it seems there's been quite a few packs throughout the field in practice, so it should make for an interesting qualifying session. As we wait for the drivers to receive their briefing. They will be out on the track soon. As we will probably see the usual rush out of the pit lane, so everyone's trying to get out at once. Pretty short lap around here, so I suspect traffic might become an issue. So, who will be first out of the pit lane? Let's find out soon. Just trying to fill the signs right now. Boo. So how's your day been? I don't have Alex to talk to this time, so a bit awkward. Shouldn't be a long drive briefing though, as there's a regular standing start in the TC series, so no need to discuss any rolling start shenanigans like in the GT series. Oh, as it looks like they are off. And the first person on the track is John Dalton. Congratulations. As it looks like the qualifying rush is not as bad as usual. Must be a little pack going out at first, as there's the second pack coming out now. So let's go for a full on-board lap with John Dalton. as he should be the first to set a timed lap in this session. He goes around technically turn 2. Kind of a weird one. Turn 1 is just a little kink, which I don't think many people even consider a turn. As he now heads up to turn 4. And there is turn 5. And then the tricky turn 6, very easy to run wide here. Let's see how John does, and he keeps it tidy onto the Rahal straight. Nice. That is turn 7, and then we move up to the infamous corkscrew. And yeah, he does alright through there. I think he's just trying to set a safe banker lap right now. He goes on turn 10. Oh, he runs very wide at the exit of turn 10. And here we have the final turn 11. As he will cross the line and set a 131.1 as Thomas Jensen immediately follows with a 129.4. That's Sven Jensen taking P2, Charlie Darling taking P3, although Albert just took P3 away from Charlie Darling. Of course, it doesn't mean much right now, as a lot of people have yet to set a lap. So Victor Berlin P6 and Ferreira P7. Bran Machuca. Ooh, he's running a bit wide as well. He did set the fastest overall sector 1 though, so that's very nice indeed. See where he ends up. He ends up P5. So Jensen is improving his time by quite a lot. Got that safe first lap out of the way, I guess. So now he can really go for it. To try and secure that pole position. So he was definitely looking the fastest in practice, as he now sets a 129.3. So far his main rival Mark Lawrence is about half a second down on him. Here we have Ferreira about to cross the line. Ferreira moves out to P15. As Anthony Malloy moves to P15. Just took it away from Ferreira there. So we are now watching Gordon Gunn. And he moves up to P17. And we have Ommen. Dat is Maxim van den Hove. And Ommen moves up to P6. That's very nicely done from him. Just behind Charlie Darling in P5. Next to cross the line will be Stephen Higgins, who is looking a lot faster than his current lap. And he moves to P10. Looks like Victor Berlin will be next to cross the line. Currently in P14. And Berlin moves to P9. Conor season. He's in P14 right now, should be able to go much faster than that though, and he does. He moves up to P5. As Marcus Lawrence trying to close the gap on Jansen. Marcus Lawrence takes first position. 129.2, very nicely done from him, just a little bit faster than Jansen. As Pepijn Hillemans goes fastest in Sector 1. 1/10 down on the Sector 1 of Marcus Lawrence. As you can see, the Stephen Higgins just getting out of his way. Sector 2 not quite as fast, but still pretty decent. And Hillemans moved to P6. Yes, now we've got Honzik coming up. Currently in P10, should be able to go much faster than that though. As he moves to P3, right behind Thomas Jansen. Although about 2/10 behind, so still have plenty of work to do for him. Sebastian Brunier does not manage to get out of P15. Okay, we've got Dendo in 16th. Looking much faster on this lap though. So let's see where he puts himself. And he moves up one position into 15th. As Fran Machuca is also looking a lot faster than he is right now, so he moves up to P8. As Thomas Jansen goes 2/10 faster in Sector 1. That's a very nice improvement for him. With now 8.5 minutes left in qualifying. So got a bit of time. Have another look at Sebastian Brunier as he's about to go around the final corner on the track. Turn 11. And Brunier moves to P15, which I think someone else just took away from him earlier. As Jansen is looking a lot faster in Sector 2 as well. So he crosses the line now, and of course he puts himself P1, 3/10 ahead of Lawrence. So let's see how Lawrence will respond. So we got Robin Sutherland in 21st position. Pereira moves up to P16 and Sutherland up to P19. Van den Mele is now in 22nd position. As he heads up to the corkscrew. So going faster there. So Amela moves up one position as we look at Jaroslav Honzik. trying to close the gap to Marcus Lawrence. Not looking quite as fast as Lawrence so far though, as he does not improve. Robin Sutherland was up to 17th position. If you look at the other Jensens, Sven. Who I don't think will improve on this lap, maybe just slightly, and indeed he did not improve. So, next up is Conor Mathieson in P7 right now. Let's see if he can gain a few positions. Looking like a very close pack right there up to P4, and he moves up to P4, so that's very nice. And Anton Krievelainen moves from 13th to 9th position. Jensen still not really looking faster. But someone stopped there, but it's just someone in the pits. So here we have Hansik. He'll be trying to close that gap to Lawrence once again. 3.5 minutes left in qualifying now. So he doesn't have much time. And he's lost a lot through sector 2, so it's not going to be fast, and it looks like he's abandoned that lap. So, let's have another look at Mark Whitford in this late stage of qualifying. As he's trying to get out of 8th position. He's very close to Mathieson, Dalton and Jansen, so see if he can do something there. Lose a lot of time in sector 2 though, so not looking too good for him on this lap. As he stops on the main straight, so I guess he's not finishing that lap. Let's have a look at Anton Krievelainen. If he moves up, and he does not. So here we have Hansik, who looks like he's had a great sector with 2. So I think he might be able to take P2. So let's find out as he's about to cross the line with 1.5 minutes left in qualifying. And he does take P2. So that's very well done for him. As we have a look at Marcus Lawrence. And let's see if Lawrence can take that position back. So, ooh, Lawrence lost some time for sector 2, so I don't think he'll be able to do it. We got just 40 seconds left in qualifying now, so looks like it will just about be the final order. We still got a couple of people improving, just about to cross the line, so Brunier does not improve. And Lawrence doesn't improve either, so here are our qualifying results. Thomas Jansen takes pole position with Jaroslav Honzik right behind him. Then we've got Mark Lawrence in P3, Pepijn Hillemans in P4 and Conor Mathiessen in P5. And John Dalton P6, Sven Jensen P7, Mark Whitford P8, Anton Kivlein in P10 and P9 I mean. And P10 Fran Machuca rather. So that is your top 10 for the start of race 1. Which is just about to get on the way. So there they all are on the grid. Or not all of them yet. As they get ready for the lights. And there they all are. And though it looks like a couple of people got a bad start there, but Thomas Jansen still in P1. As does Honzik stay in P2 or will Lawrence try to make a move on him? It does look like he's trying. But will he succeed? And no, it looks like Honzik needs to keep his position. As somebody's off. David Simon is seems to have gone off the track, as well as Justin Wallbeloven. Ooh, Zonzig's trying to make the move on Jansen. As you can see, Mark Lawrence in his rearview mirror. As will Honzik try to make the move on Jansen into turn 2. Ooh, he goes up the inside. And there's a bit of contact, but Jansen just about manages to stay ahead. Now Marcus Lawrence is trying to go up the inside of Honzik. Gets squeezed a bit there, but like he's gonna give it another go. As they go side by side. Ooh, very close battling between those two. But Honzik manages to keep his position in P2. Sure, Lawrence is not going to make it easy for him though. As they are coming up to the corkscrew. Lawrence tries to shove it up the inside of the corkscrew. I don't think he will. That's oh! So he gets hit in the rear for a... Let's see who that was. That's... That was not a good move from... Trying to find out who that was. So Lawrence is all the way down to 25th position. That hurts quite a lot. Unfortunately, I was not able to figure out who just ran into the back of him. So that was a very unfortunate event for Lawrence. Oh, is this a big collision? As the exit of turn 11. There were a bunch of drivers involved there. Woblove and Simon were. Looks like Anthony Malloy got involved as well. Let's just return to some battling. As here we have Victor Berlin trying to move up the inside of Alberg. Oh, somebody spun out. Can't quite tell who that is. I think it's Ferreira who spun out there. So here we have Mark Whitford trying to close up on John Dalton. They're very close now on the main straight. So Whitford is gaining in the slipstream. And oh, did he try to go around the outside? No, he will not. He'll stay behind for now. Here we have Anton Kovlainen, dropped down to P11 it seems, so he's right behind Sebastian Brunier. As you can also see Charlie Darling coming up behind him. As they all go down the corkscrew right now. Oh, as I think Kovlainen just spun there. Don't know if he hit the rear end of the guy in front of him or just went onto the sand a little bit or had to lift off mid-corner or something, because lifting off in these DCR cars can be quite deadly. So here we have Mark Whitford, still closely behind John Dalton. Sorry, wrong camera. As ooh, there's a bit of contact there, and Whitford runs wide. Looks like he's going to lose position to Sven Jansen and Pepijn Hillemans. So he's dropped down to 7th. So here we have Charlie Darling on Sebastian Brunier. He'll try to go up the inside down the corkscrew. Yes, he will. As Brunier, I think, just made a mistake there. Yeah, he's run off the track, as well as an Audi behind him. Was Higgins or Kovlainen. Mark Whitford is closing up on Hillemans. And looks like he's staying behind for now. As Honzik is starting to close up on Jansen now. So that's going to get very interesting. We have 11.5 minutes just about left in the race. Of course then there will be another race. But of the top 8 reverse grid. So that's going to prove very interesting. So Victor Berlin will start from pole that race if he stays where he is right now. As Whitford still closing up on Hillemans. Not quite close enough to go up the inside down the corkscrew, but looks like he might try it now. And he won't. Oh, somebody stopped on track. It's see who that is, Nestor Golvano. So it seems to be making the timing glitch out a bit as well. As here we have Thijs Dendo and Anton Krivalainen. Dendo very close behind. Looks like Dendo's gonna have to deal with Higgins behind him as well. They go side by side now. But Dendo will have the inside as Stephen Higgins gets past. Mark Whitford is having another go at Hillemans. Hillemans runs wide, so we're gonna lose a bit of time through there. Will that allow Whitford to get past? Looks like it might. Left the inside on turn 11. So Whitford has made his way past. He's up to 6th now. Ooh, as Honzik goes up the inside of Jansen. And he's made his way past in turn 2. So that's a lead change right here. We have 9 minutes left in the race. There's still some time for Jansen to try and take the position back. As here we've got Alman fighting with Darling. And Whitford up the inside of Sven Jansen. Looks like he broke just a little bit too late there and he's gonna lose the position to Hillemans again. So that's very unfortunate for him. And we've got Sebastian Brunier right behind Robin Sutherland. They're trying to do something right now. After the corkscrew, yes he does. He gets past just about. Like there might be a bit of contact there. Anton Krivalainen trying to get past as well, going around the outside of Vernier. So Anton runs wide. And looks like Anton has made his way past Sutherland, but Vernier stays ahead. Though for how long, I'm wondering. As Krivalainen has a look up the inside. He's just not close enough yet, as you can see. Higgins and Sutherland fighting in his rearview mirror. As, ooh, Sutherland runs very wide and that's allowed Higgins to get past. So Thomas Jensen has just made his way past Honzik, or no, they're side by side on the main straight. Honzik will have the inside going into turn 1 and turn 2. Could this be yet another lead change? I guess we'll find out at the end of this corner. Looks like Honzik just about stays ahead, or now. Yes, he does. Jensen following very closely behind as he just runs off the track a little bit, so that's cost him some momentum. It looks like this fight is far from over. Just a little gap between them now. Still very close fighting. So we have Dando going with Lawrence. So Lawrence has made his way back up to P14 now, after dropping all the way down after a collision in the corkscrew. But let's go back to the fight for the lead with Thomas Jensen and Jaroslav Honzik. They go on the Rahal straight, lead up to the corkscrew. With 4 minutes left in the race now. There's still plenty that can happen. Here we have John Dalton fighting his teammate Willem Mathiessen. I think they've been going for a little while now as well. So Honzik on the inside into turn 2. Then will Jensen try to send this around the outside? Yes, he will. Of course he will. And ooh, Honzik just about stays ahead. So I guess I'll have 2 or 3 more laps to fight this out. And so here we've got Charlie Darling sandwiched between 2 Hyundais. The Hyundais of Almen and Alberg. Looks like Almen's gonna try something on the inside, although Charlie moves to the inside to defend. Jensen and Honzik are once again on the straight. Looks like Jensen isn't quite as close this time around, but I'm stopping from trying anything, I don't think. As he stays close behind. As there's still a close battle between Alberg, Darling and Omen. Darling goes up the inside of Alberg. So he's passed now. Moved himself up to P9. Although, looks like Albergs might be able to have a go at him on the inside there. No, he won't, and he runs a bit wide, so not too bad though. He might try something in the corkscrew. And Albert goes up the inside. Ooh. And he wasn't quite close enough, I think. Oh, Darling runs wide onto the gravel. And so that's allowed Albert to just about get past. Might allow Omen to get past now as well. Omen moves to the inside. And doesn't look like he'll be able to try anything as there's a bit of contact between them, and Charlie is now properly sandwiched. Oh, so that bit of contact did cost Omen some time. He just lost it a bit through there. As they are still closely fighting for the lead. But this will be the final lap. And so, I think Jensen will have to try something into turn 11 if he can get close enough, but I don't think he'll quite be able to. And so, it is... Yes, it will be Jaroslav Honzik who takes P1 in the first race, with Thomas Jensen finishing in second. And we've got John Dalton and Conor Mathieson fighting it out right at the end, but Dalton just about getting ahead. As that's a bit of a broken high and going past there, but Whitford takes P5, Hiddemus takes P6. And 7th will be Victor Berlin. Sven Jansen in P8. Magnus Alberg in P10. Jan Willem van Ommen in... Alberg P9, Ommen P10. And Anton Kuvlein in P11. Sebastian Brunner P12. P13, Marcus Lawrence over dropping all the way back. Thijs Dendo takes P14. 15 goes to Stephen Higgins. Fran Machuca, 16th. 17th, Robert Sutherland. Justin well below, is just about to take 18th position. With Maxim van den Hove in 19th. Jordan Alcalea in 20th. Gordon Gunn in 21st. David Simon in 22nd. And then we've got Anthony Malloy coming up in 23rd. And Koen van den Amele coming up in 24th. Although I think he already crossed the line. So that leaves Ferreira, Darling and Nestor Golvano retired. So Darling did not finish the race after that close battle with the two Hyundais. It seems. So there they all are. Green right now. And so we move into race 2. I just forgot who got P8, but whoever it was will start from pole position in this race, as it is a reversed grid for the top 8. Right, it will be Sven Jansen who starts in pole position for race 2, followed by Victor Berlin and Pepijn Hillemans. And they are off. And it looks like Victor Berlin got a much better start there. As Hillemans will be looking to go around the outside. Oh, there's a lot of contact through there. And one of the pushers spins out. So they've dropped way back, as I think it's Dendo also losing control there. And Thomas Jansen has dropped back to P9. Honzik already up to P5, so that's very well done from him. As here, ooh, looks like there's a bit of contact with the right Hyundai behind. As Berlin runs wide, and he's going to lose 2 positions because of that. So he'll be trying to move himself back to P2. Oh, there's a lot of contact through there again. And Berlin runs wide. And he rejoins the track, but I don't think that was a very good rejoin. I think he just ran into the Peugeot. So he falls back all the way to P9. As here we have John Dalton going on the outside of Sven Jansen. And Honzik already up into P2 with his rival Thomas Jansen still down in P6. So that's a very good first lap for Honzik. Or first 2 laps, I guess, at this point. As one of the Audis just ran wide. I think it was Hillemans. There is a lot happening right now, as usually happens in race 2. As John Dalton has ran very wide, so he's lost a bunch of positions out of that. So he's all the way down to P9 now. So that has been a very expensive mistake. As Mark Whitford is now in P1, so that's very nice for him, but Honzik is coming up quickly. With Thomas Jansen now having made his way to P4. Or just about. He's still fighting Mathieson. As he's now coming up to the other Jansen. You can see a bunch of movements throughout the field. As we're watching Omen. As he makes his way past Dalton almost. And Honzik already very close to Whitford. They are both putting away slightly. You can also see Thomas Jansen coming up behind them. And Honzik runs a bit wide. Not too bad. So you can see Conor Mathieson and Victor Berlin fighting. Berlin on the inside. And she sticks behind. Dalton alongside Alberg. And now Berlin. You could hear a bit of her up there. So Dalton in P6 now. As Honzik and Whitford are side by side on the main straight. And Honzik gonna take it round the outside of turn 2. Can he get ahead? No, Woodford just about stays in front. The Honzik will have the inside through this corner. And they are still very close indeed. As it seems Honzik is properly in front now. And you can see Thomas Jensen coming up behind them. As Victor Berlin is trying to close up on Conor Mathieson. Mathieson gets a bit sideways. And Berlin got the corkscrew. Very easy to do. And oh, you can see, oh, John Dalton. What happened to him? So Dalton is all the way down to P14 now because he lost it right before, I think in turn 10. But that's not a good race for him. And also just noticed Marcus Lawrence and Sven Jansen have both retired from the race, so this has not been a good day for Marcus Lawrence. Finishing P14 in race 1. Even though he qualified in P2. Had a massive shunt right before the corkscrew on the first lap. As Anton Quiverlainen is trying to take on Pepijn Hellemans. Down into turn 2. As they get very close. You can see it from this front bumper cam. Looks like Quiverlainen can't quite get close enough to make a move yet. As Thomas Jensen is getting very close to Mark Whitford now in the fight for P2. Gotta say, Woodford is doing really well to keep the car in P2, although he just goes sideways at the exit of that turn 6. And that's allowed Jensen to get past. So Woodford drops down to P3. Although, ooh, there's a bit of banging through there. Woodford staying very close behind. As it does look like, oh, Woodford gets past, so I think Jensen actually let him pass there, so at least that's what it looked like, either that or he's got a very bad exit out of that corner. As that looked a bit too easy, let's just say. So now Jensen is trying to send it around the outside, I think, no? It's going to stick behind for a little while longer. Doesn't want to stick around for too long though, as Honzik is slowly pulling away. So Honzik is now 4.5 seconds ahead of Jensen. One car. Sorry. They're getting properly close now as Jensen goes around the outside. Can he make his way past on the main straight? Looks like he will as Woodford slots in behind. So, now Jensen has and just under 9 minutes left to close up the 5-second gap to Honzik. Which I am not sure he'll be able to do. But he sure as hell gonna try. As now we've got Anton Kovlainen fighting Pepijn Hillemans. Both in the Audis. Yes, Sebastian Brunier. Getting close to Ommen and Alberg. They're going to try to send this around the outside of both of them. The turn 2. No, he stays just about behind. That's a close pack of 3 cars. That could get interesting. Go on board with Brunier. Omen ran a bit wide and that's allowed Brunier to try and make a move. That's, oh, I think he just about got off the track there in the braking zone, but they're side by side out of the corkscrew. Brunier on the inside and he looks to be past. No, not yet. Omen trying to come back on the inside there. Brunier off the outside on the last corner on the track. They're close together on the main straight now with Charlie Darling coming up behind them as well. So Brunier gonna try something here. Doesn't look like it. Ooh! And Brunier just was off the track. I'm not sure if he got... he might have been hit by Darling there. Otherwise that was a very weird spin, but I think collision would be the most logical way for that to happen. But didn't quite see it, so we'll have to tell later. So right now we're following Stephen Higgins, right behind John Dalton. So Dalton fell all the way down to P11 after strong race 1. Made some mistakes this race. As Jansen is closing up on Honzik, but I'm not quite sure he's closing up fast enough to try anything before the end of the race, which will be 4.5 minutes from now, or at least that's when checkered flag will drop. As here we have Ferrara fighting Mele. Ferrara goes up the inside. He goes side by side, just coming up to turn 6 now. As Ferrara runs wide, which allows Mele to get back. And Mele will have the inside into the corkscrew. So there's a bit of contact between them. And Mele stays ahead for now. Ooh! Looks like Ferrara just made a big mistake and collected Mele in that as well. Mele will get back on track first, but that's a very bad rejoin, and I think he just totally took out David Simon there. So the stewards might need to have a look at that. So here we've got Victor Berlin and Pepijn Hillemans in the final 2 minutes of the race, and Jensen is not closing the gap to Honzik fast enough, so it looks like unless something major happens, Honzik will take the win here, as he just crossed the line, so there will be one more lap after this one. We got Hillemans and Berlin still fighting things out, so we've got 40 seconds left in the race now. So here's a look from the rear wing of Victor Berlin. So got Hillemans trying to make the move on the inside, but don't think he was close enough to really pull that off. We are now on the final lap. And Hillemann's getting very close to Berlin. He might have a chance up the inside in the next corner. Go down the corkscrew if that's something he wants to risk. This gets very close. And Jaroslav Honzik just crossed the line and takes P1. Followed by Thomas Jansen in P2. Mark Woodford in P3. Willem Mathiessen P4. As Hillemann's just about managed to get past Berlin and takes P5. Berlin in P6. Magnus Alberg takes P7. P8 goes to Jan Willem van Ommen. P9 goes to Anton Quiverlijnen. John Dalton takes P10. P11 for Charlie Darling. P12 for Stephen Higgins. P13 for Fran Machuca. Robin Sutherland in P14. Justin well below of cost line in P16. Sorry, in P15. Then 16th goes to Thijs Dendo. 17th Gordon Gunn. 18th Sebastian Brunier. Not a very good race for him. And Jordan Alcalaya takes P19. And Maxim van den Hoof takes P20. As Anthony Malloy goes onto the main straight now, about to take P21. Koen van den Mele in 22nd. Andre D. Ferreira in 23rd. And then finally David Simon in P24 with Van Jansen and Marcus Lawrence not finishing the race, unfortunately. So, that's been an interesting couple of races. Plenty of action happening, and no doubt that I missed a lot of it. Unfortunately, I'm on my own today, but hopefully you enjoyed it anyway. So there's plenty happening throughout the field. As here on your screen now are the results for race 2. So that was the those were both the races for today. I hope you enjoyed them. I will quickly try to upload the results to the website right now. So a very strong performance from Jaroslav Honzik, who took the win in both races. So once again impressing on his debut, not his OVRC debut this time, but his touring car debut. Trying to and get the results file, but not sure it's working right now. Normally Alex handles this stuff. Seems like I just don't know what I'm doing. I think I've found it now, so. Right, I have found it, so I'm gonna quickly upload that to the website. Just give you some more music for now. This is gonna take a little while, so I guess I'll just end the stream there. So, thank you all very much for watching. Don't forget to like the stream if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to our channel if you want to see more. So, see you guys later for the next race. GT series, which will be at... let's see, at Portimao. So I'll see you there, hopefully. Goodbye.